All right, guys, welcome back. It is time for the Legendary Rune event. They're giving this to us a little faster than they used to. I think we had one in December, which it went for a while. It went through like January, so it's only been a couple months since we haven't farmed nonstop for these. But these runes will blow your mind, and they will change your account for the better. So I heavily advise anyone who is playing this game seriously to put as much resources into farming of these runes as you can. So let's just summarize the event real quick for people who are new or don't know what it's all about. So basically what you're going to get to do is you're going to get to make 2 legendary runes. Based on points you farm, you're going to get to re-roll those runes as if they had a re-app into different substats. It'll roll, whatever you want. You can pick the slot, you can pick the type. It's very nice. So basically you roll till you have the substats you like. Basically you're going for high rolls of whatever your preferred substats are. So no flat rolls, generally speed, defense, attack, HP, things that you can grind. Once you're happy with those, then you power them up to +6, and you get to try to power them up over and over until you get a max double roll of the stat of your choice, usually speed. Then you claim the rune, you roll to +12, and you pray, and you hope. The crazy thing about this event is it doesn't break the game, but it really messes up the game for people that pay a lot of money, I think. Because 1 in 16 people get a quad roll, and I think the average dollar spent per quad roll of people that are trying to re-app and stuff like that, to me, it's got to be quite a bit, because you think about the odds of getting one from a re-app and the cost of re-apps. So 1 in 16 people, if they roll this right, are probably getting $1,000 gift from Comp2Us in terms of the cost it takes to make one of these without a free event. Now, that's everybody. So, it's still definitely a rich gets richer situation, because 1 in 16 mega whales will also get a quad roll, and they're going to be happy, and they're going to be better, and they're going to have like 20 of them, and you're going to have this one. So it's a great event. I think it brings the overall efficiency level of the player base closer than it would get just from normally playing, which I think is a good thing. Anything they can do to make the game more competitive without more people spending money, I think is good. So, a couple little differences in this from last time. Now you get a point per 1 energy, and then using other stuff, but the 1 energy is the main point. So it used to be you get a point per rune you pulled, per grind or gem you pulled, and then crafting runes and using gems and grinds. And so basically, I think this is a push, more or less. It might be a little more efficient, because I think on average you would get about 7-ish runes per 10 in Giants or Dragons or whatever, which in the old system would be worth 7-ish points, so 49 points, plus the craftables from the same thing, so it probably ended up pretty close. I think this is better because you can do whatever you want, and it rewards everything you do. If you're doing guild content, you're getting the energy used and you're getting the guild content used, so that's pretty nice. You get points for World Arena, so if you want to use your 30 wings, that's good points. Not bad. Using crystals, acquiring crystals, that means they're like, hey, why don't you buy these packs that I guarantee you are coming out when this thing comes out. So lots of ways to use points. Here's how you make your rune. You select the rune type, select the rune number, select the main property, and then change the sub-properties is 150, which is kind of feels high. I think it was like 120 last time, so you're not going to get as many rolls as you would otherwise, unless the energy gain is more efficient than the rune gain, which I don't have an exact number on that. It might be slightly more efficient. So get yourself, at a minimum, 4 substats you're happy with, even if they're low rolls. Then try to increase those rolls. I would go between the 2 runes so that they raise up similarly, unless you just hate one of your selections, which in that case make a better selection. And yeah, get to where you think you can be and still have enough juice to roll the substats, because it would be super sad to get a +6 speed and only have it turn out 17. The other thing is you also get to roll grinds and gems, which is great. Make sure you are rolling your most used grinds and gems. If you need 1 focus rune for some fast focus rune, I would advise against pulling for that, because as soon as you get 1 from farming, you're going to use it on that thing. Whereas if you need like 20 violence, then maybe go for the violence. It's kind of hard to get these to roll right, and this should be something you do pretty much after you're happy with, at a minimum, the substats on your runes. Then you've got roll artifacts, which this is a great addition. It's kind of expensive to roll artifacts, and it's going to take the rest of your points for forever. I really hope they let you keep your previous option before you trash it and re-roll, because it's going to make it hard to roll anything resembling a good artifact because you're going to have to hedge heavily. If you see 3 additional damages, you're probably going to take that if you have to trash all 3 and re-roll back into the whole pool of options, you know? So it's going to be harder to roll for a quad additional damage. So I hope they let you keep the previous one. I don't know if they will or not. That would be nice. And then all this good stuff for, you know, just getting points. The Valkyria emojis are great. I like them a lot. They're all pretty good. The help is great. Yeah, those are good. And that's about it. So, how do you choose? It's the same as it's ever been. You know, I've talked about this before. If you want to look at the theory from it, you can look at last time. One thing I want to talk about is my runes from this event in the past. Speed. We're going to go by subproperty. So, this is one of my runes from the past. It's my best crit damage rune. It's so good. The other one is also a crit damage rune. It is here. So, not as good, but still third, you know. We got one up here, which is an HP, slot 4, my best rune. So this event's happened like, what, 3 or 4 times? And my best violent runes are from this event. That's pretty good. Other runes from this event are Swift. Not that one. This is it. My best Swift attack rune, right? What's interesting is I don't feel like I use it too much in RTA, but it's my best one. That's how it is. The other one is a crit rate, which isn't that great because it didn't roll any speed, but it's still my best crit rate rune, you know? Nice and efficient. Pretty nice. So these runes are no joke. They're going to make you happy. So what do you pick? Well, let's look at it. So first thing you want to do is eliminate slots 1, 3, and 5. The reason for that is every slot 1, 3, and 5 rolls the same main stat. Flat attack, flat HP, or flat defense, which means you have a pretty good chance of getting something good. On slot 2, 4, and 6, half of those roll flat, and those half are trash. So slot 2, 4, and 6 are twice as likely to be better for you than slot 1, 3, 5. So I would not roll 1, 3, 5 regardless. Some people do, and they're like, I need this 1, 1, 3, 5. And to them, I would say, that's cool. Don't do it. Like, I don't care if you need it. You have a better chance of farming it. And you can put reaps into that if you want. I wouldn't, but you could. You have a better chance of fixing that slot through normal gameplay than you do through this event. And fixing slots 2, 4, and 6, or even getting more of good 2, 4s, and 6 are really hard. So I'd pick 2, 4s, and 6. All right. You should pick runes that are good in PvP. I think that's pretty universal. If you don't play PvP, okay, but some of these runes are still good in PvE. So I would limit your choices to Violent, Will, Swift, and Despair, probably in that order. Those runes are good everywhere, and they're good in PvP. If you pick anything that's only PvE, you're restricting it to half the game, you know? What if in the future you decide you want to play PvP? It's like when people trash a Nat 5. They're like, I'm never going to use this Nat 5. And then 3 years later, they're like, it got buffed. I wish I had that. It's like, think ahead, plan ahead, you know? Don't make rash choices for the immediate moment that punish you in the long term. All right, out of the 2, 4, and 6, I would pick things that are used the most. I would pick crit damage for slot 4. I would pick crit rate. HP, you could, if you really have a need for it. I would probably not pick HP because you can only pick one or the other. You can't pick HP slot 6 and HP slot 4 of the same type. You could do an HP Swift rune and an HP Violent rune if you wanted. Usually that's how the events work. There used to be restrictions against that, but I would generally advise against that. Slot 6, I would pretty much only pick HP. There's a reason to pick attack if you've already picked an HP. Or if you really need like an accuracy rune, you could, but it's going to limit the monsters it can go on. So something to think about. Speed. I am pretty much always against picking speed in this event, but I don't think that's correct. You just have to do it with your eyes open. Like, if you pick a speed rune in this event, you know that you're limiting your chance of getting a quad roll speed to 1 rune, which is 50% less than everyone else. So if you're cool with everyone else having twice as good of a chance of getting a quad roll as you, go for it. Some people have specific needs in their account. I really want an 18 crit speed rune for Yonhong. I think it would make Yonhong so much better, and if it didn't work on Yonhong, I could use it on Han. It would be great, right? That's really what I want. That being said, I still don't think I'm going to do it because I think my odds of pulling something decent for that stat in that spot are better. And I think I want 100% chance of getting a quad roll just like everybody else. I think I need that. There's a lot of speedy boys out there and girls that are going to get these runes. And if I don't at least try to keep up, I think I'm hurting my chance to do a good job. So that's kind of where I'm at. After that, I think it becomes account specific. So look at what you have, look at what you need. So if I look at Will, and I look at speed on slot 4, HP, I've got one, it's covered. If I want a second one, okay, get a second one. HP, okay, I have 2. I think HP might be covered. Like, the odds of making this overtake those runes, pretty low. Crit rate, I've got 1. I've got 2. I think 26 counts. I think that's fine. And then HP, oh, I have 3. So am I going to take HP slot 4, Will? I don't think so. I'm 3 deep. You don't really need to be more... You don't need more than that in PvP. I mean, you're not going to complain if you get it, but you don't really need it. There's another HP, but it's 22. So that's where everything falls off. That's where we're off the cliff. I've got 2 good crit rates. No good crit damage, but I got to evaluate if I'm going to use it crit damage or not. So in my mind, for a slot 4 Will, crit damage is the option. I don't know if I'll take it. We'll see. Let's look at Violent. Violent speed. Crit damage, okay, 28, yes. HP 24, not quite as good. Crit damage 24, okay, so we're 2-ish deep in crit damage, though 24 is not quite where you want it. And then it falls off the cliff. So HP slot 4 is not a crazy idea, except I'd rather probably take HP slot 6. Let's take a look. Slot 6, HP 28, yes. Attack 27, okay, that's good. Accuracy 26, excellent. Accuracy 26, excellent. I feel like accuracy is covered. Am I going to risk this rune to get a 27 or 28 accuracy? No, I'm not going to do that. That's not worth it to me. I got 2. If I need something accuracy, this is fine. They're not great, but they're fine. Defense 25. I'm not taking defense. And then defense. And then it kind of falls off a cliff. So I think HP, another HP rune, is not out of the question because I'm 1 deep. Would I like to have more HP runes? Yeah. Yeah, I would. I wouldn't mind being more than 1 deep. So I think that's one of my runes in HP slot 6. So far, Will, slot 4 crit damage is, looking pretty good. The temptation to go Swift is also pretty high. The reason for that is, with Will, one thing you'll notice is Ancient. All the Ancient runes. I'm already farming Will pretty hard in the Ancient dungeons, and I'm re-apping any good Will that I get with that super valuable resource. So to me, I'm working on Will constantly. I'm working on Violent constantly because I'm farming dragons all the time. So upgrading my Swift is more unlikely than upgrading my Will or my Violent just from playing the game. So to me, being able to sneak in a Swift upgrade without having to put in the time of farming is pretty tempting. And I basically just want to pick a rune that I'm happy that rolls 18. So with my crit rate rune that I took last time, it's in use. It's going to be in use forever. It's a nice, efficient little 22 speed. If I wanted it to be 23, I could put a legendary grind on that. And it's already my 4th fastest rune. So you can see my problems here. I mean, HP, not fast. Well, not very fast. Not elite fast, right? Not like crazy high-end triple roll fast. This is low-end triple roll, right? And it just kind of goes down from there, right? I mean, we're already in problem area, 21, stuff like that. So I think the odds of me picking a slot 4 Swift rune are pretty high. Pretty high. And I think it might end up being crit rate again, just because, let's take a look. Crit rate. There's 2 of them, and this one's trash. So I wouldn't be opposed to having another one. There's more than 1 monster that could use this rune. Ethna, Shiho. You could do Recon on Swift if you wanted. Swift Verd. I mean, you got lots of good Swift options. Unicorns if you want. I don't think Swift is the way to go on unicorns, but you've got options, and there's uses for them. And if I happen to triple roll, Ethna's immediately upgraded. This one bumps down to something else that wants a tanky version of this. Something with a high base speed, something like Shiho, right? So I think that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to go crit rate 4 and HP 6 on Violent, even though I really would like a Violent slot 2. But I can't risk it. I can't do it. But I'll consider the crit damage slot 4 on Will as well. I just don't think it's as valuable to me. So anyway, that's how I look at it. I know everybody's got their own take. It's usually a lot of similarities. There's a couple of times where people diverge a little bit on certain issues. If you need something for your account and you know what you're giving up to go for it, I say go for it. No one's going to bash you because you really needed this one thing, and it will work for you. I mean, it'll upgrade your account that one way immediately. If you can't wait or you think it's worth it, do it. Doesn't have to be this way. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you guys have any thoughts or notes or anything that I said was not correct, please let me know so that people don't get wrong information, and I will catch you in the next video. Take care, everybody.